My name is Sam Bird. I'm the COO here at AIM B2B, and I'll be the MC and the host. Got some colleagues here, and we'll just, like I say, let a few people in and begin just a few minutes after 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Sam. My name is Ignacio. Ignacio Davalos. I will be the co-host. Today, I'm the Content Strategy Director at AIM B2B. We will be talking a lot about the best strategies for B2B and B2C on the GEO world. Now this new thing. So thank you for coming.
Whilst we wait for a few more people to join, as I say, we'll start just around 2 or 3 minutes after 10 o'clock, Japan time here. Just to let everyone know, we're celebrating our Thanksgiving International Potluck Party at Custom Media and AIM B2B this evening. So looking forward to gathering and celebrating the year so far. So it'll be a great chance to do that. Thanks, Jason, for the shout out there. So yes, people can use the emoji at the bottom of the Google Meets. For those who haven't had the chance to use Google Meets, it allows you to share a few reactions as we go. Thanks, team. Thanks, everyone there. And just to let everyone know who's already joined the call, we have a couple of colleagues with us. Myself, Sam Bird, I'm the CEO of AIM B2B and Custom Media. We have Ignacio Davalos, Content Strategy Director. Robert Heltz, the CEO. We'll be here to just keep things smoothly operating in the background, and Rosita is also helping us navigate through the webinar technology tools that we have here. So if any issues come up, she'll be our master in the background. So everybody who's on the call, you're set to be a viewer of this meeting. It's how Google Meets works with the webinar environment. We have the opportunity for you to share reactions by the emoji at the bottom of the screen you would see. Thumbs up and celebrations, and thumbs down even if you feel like to react in that way. Appreciate any feedback. There will be questions and answer sessions at the end of the session, and we'll explain how to navigate into the Q&A section within Google Meets towards the end of the session. So I think we promised to start at 3 minutes past the hour, 11 o'clock Japan time, and so let's get going. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. This is our webinar on mastering GEO, Generative Engine Optimization, how to perfect GEO for AI search authority. My name is Sam Bird. I am the COO of AIM B2B, and with me as co-host is Ignacio Davalos.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ignacio Davalos, as Sam said. I'm the Content Strategy Director at AIM B2B and Custom Media. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
So let's get started. I'll kick things off, and then we'll hand it on to Ignacio to dive into the details of how to GEO. I'll set the scene first, though. So why are we talking about this topic? The landscape has changed, ultimately. Your buyers aren't just searching on Google anymore. Many people are using the LLMs, the large language models, those AI models, to search for information. Buyers in the B2B space and in B2C, in consumer areas, are more and more relying on AI assistants. We know ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, many others out there to quickly find trusted answers. And so The challenge these days is that if your content is not optimized for GEO, for being seen in these AI models, then you will miss out as a business. Your competitors will be there and be seen. So just to introduce ourselves at AIM B2B, we are a full-service B2B marketing and PR agency. We're within the custom media group, and we connect Japan with the world. We deliver data-driven creative marketing solutions, helping clients in revolutionary industries such as AI, clean energy, fintech, healthcare, manufacturing, technology, and many more. We've very proud to say that we've successfully won now 5 awards in the past 3 years through Campaign, one of the leading industry bodies to recognize success in the advertising and marketing and PR fields. Most recently, B2B Marketing Agency of the Year and Content Marketing Agency of the Year. Thank you for the celebration there. So our mission is to empower revolutionary B2B industries in Japan. And we do this through creating meaningful connections with audiences through the power of storytelling. Our business, just to give a little bit of context, we started in 2008 as a publishing company, and this thread has come through our business in its evolution from publishing through to digital production, digital marketing agency, to now an integrated B2B PR and marketing agency. So we humanize B2B brands through storytelling. We find the deeper connections to the audience, what makes the story, the mission of our clients, makes it relevant for the Japanese audiences. And now more so than ever, that is becoming the most important thing, how to build those human connections in this AI-driven world. One of our key differentiation points is that we have our own framework that we apply to our engagement with clients and to our work on a day-to-day basis. So AIM stands for adapt and implement, then maximize. So we start by looking at understanding you, your competitors, the industry, the market, and the audience. From there, with a clear plan in place, we bring your vision to life. And finally, in a PDCA cycle, we maximize. We continuously set KPIs, review those, and track and analyze and optimize. So AIM is our solution to help international brands succeed in the Japan market and the Korea market, and also now take those take companies from those markets, from Japan and Korea, globally as well. So let me give you a little bit of background on what's happening with SEO and GEO. A history of SEO. So I won't go through this in a lot of detail, but I found this graphic actually from another company, Relify, so just shouting out there, bottom left. We found this great graphic and we're repurposing it, so well done to that team. 1995, it was since 97 and through to the early 2000s. Those were the earliest years of search engines. It was, you know, a bit of a different experience. The 10 blue links and getting on that first page of results was key. In 2003 through to 11, Google started to refresh its algorithm, prioritizing quality over sort of keyword stuffing and quantity in that respect. From 2013, there was updates again from Google focusing on natural language processing, so more questions, more full-length questions. You didn't have to learn how to do Boolean plus, minus, and not or, you know, searches to get good results. Mobile search became more important as the smartphone era took off. And obviously localization, making content that is relevant for local audiences in their language. 2016, Google started to prioritize search intent and long form keywords. And then this evolved in various styles until we got to 2024, when AI and ChatGPT really started to take off. And we've now seen this evolve in a breakneck speed over the last 2-3 years, where now we have AI embedded into the Google search experience across all kinds of search and user behavior. So just to highlight what that is for those to understand what we're talking about. So as you can see on the left, we've got a typical Google search, GEO versus SEO. Now you can see that AI overview coming up, which gives you that snippet, that answer already at the top of the results. So no more needing to click into a search result to be able to find out. And as you can see underneath there, AI is starting to now give you even more detail, the key differences. Now, so this is the new environment. This is the AI overview within Google Search. And as you can see on the right-hand side, they have featured snippets. And these are the most relevant and important sources of information. So now even more important than those 10 blue links, because you are seen as the voice of authority on these answers. And we were there early as Custom Media. We started to talk about this back in January of this year. And as you can see, January 28th, one of the earliest references on there. And we've been consistently in that top 3 linked articles or featured articles on this topic. So just for those who maybe a little confused, so Custom Media is our group, and AIM B2B, we rebranded the agency service brand in July of this year. So prior to July, we were going to market as Custom Media. The agency brand now is AIM B2B, but both still exist. So let us now look into those LLMs. What does the answers look like when you're searching for example, a B2B marketing agency in Japan? So we've looked at both Gemini and ChatGPT to see how we rank. So this has become a very important source of new leads for us as a business. And also we see it for our clients and the accounts that we engage with. They are asking more and more, how do we rank high in these search results within the LLMs themselves? On the left, Gemini, the Custom Media work we've done to optimize and position ourselves at the top there has come through, and you can see we're still ranking very highly, number 1, in fact, in Gemini. Within ChatGPT, the AIM B2B service brand is now ranking, and it's replaced Custom Media. And we hope to boost that up as we establish the relevance and the, I guess, the authority of the AIM B2B brand, as it's a new brand since July. You know, this takes some time. So ultimately, we've been talking about SEO and GEO. There's also another acronym here, AEO. AEO standing for Answer Engine Optimization. So a quick overview on what the difference is between those 3. As people do no doubt know, search engine optimization, what was happening up until 2023, 24, it was all about ranking high on the search engine results pages, known in the industry as SERPs. And now with AEO, it's about getting that AI overview, get your answer featured in that featured snippet. So as you saw earlier, the Custom Media blog that we released in January is ranked highly in that space. And then we have GEO. So how to then influence a summary? How do we get into the answer, the list of best B2B marketing agencies in Japan, for example, in those LLMs? And there's various differences between these. I won't go into the detail here. I'll hand that to Ignacio for the second part of our presentation. So ultimately, the user experience is changing, and we've all experienced that, myself as well. Up until a couple of years ago, it would be, I'm trying to find a great restaurant for, a client visiting Japan. I might just start with a simple search on the left-hand side, best restaurants at Tokyo, and then read a few articles, read a few blogs, read a few guides, try to understand what is the right one to take my client contact to my guests to. These days, you're having much more in-depth conversations with the AI chatbot feature within the LLMs, and you'll ask much more richer, deeper questions. So what are some good restaurants in Tokyo for a business dinner with international clients that have private rooms and good reviews for service? If you tried to do this in a Google search, it wouldn't come up with a very strong answer. Too many keywords, it would be muddled. Whereas now within the LLMs, you do get a well thought out, well planned out answer, which you can verify. So it's a very different user experience. And I think, when we optimize ourselves, when we optimize our clients to feature in the answers, we have to think about that user experience, that user journey. What's their search intent? What kind of questions are they being are they asking? And how can we then influence the content that we put out there to then rank highly in the answers? But technology, we love it. It changes fast though. We've done this presentation probably 5 times in the past 5 months, since February or March. And, every time we've had to update it, change it, because things are happening so fast. Some of the, headlines here, which, made us sit up and take real notice, it's and the industry as well, the idea that Google is, reimagining search completely. That environment that we've all been used to in the past is completely changed. In the Japanese press, will AI end Googling? Will that term not be used anymore? And this is seen as a great period of great change for search. SEMrush, one of the leading authorities in search engine marketing and also in SEO, are looking at how to protect your brand reputation in AI search, because AI search is reshaping how brands are discovered. So how to actively manage your presence in AI responses before it is defined for you. So no more you have control over the conversation, you have to influence it. GEO strategy is key, because more and more we're seeing people, industry experts, and the data showing that SEO as it was, is that era is over. So a little bit of fun now. We're going to do a Mythbusters challenge. So maybe we can use the emojis at the bottom to vote sort of thumbs up for thinking that there were 4 myths that people might have about GEO. If you are thinking that each one is a myth, you can put your thumbs up. If you think it is not a myth, put your thumbs down or vote with those thumbs. So we'll go through these one by one on the next slides. So myth number 1, if my website ranks number 1 in traditional Google search, it will automatically do well in generative AI answers. What do we think? Thumbs, please vote with them. All right. So a lot of people saying that it is not a myth with the thumbs down. So actually it is likely a myth. So while strong SEO is a good foundation, if therefore ranking number 1 in traditional Google search, It doesn't mean that you will automatically do well in generative AI answers. You do need to do more. For example, having your content and answers being more comprehensive and aligning with that conversational style is more important for GEO, which is not then needed for SEO. Right, myth number 2. So you need to create completely new content specifically for GEO. Your existing content is useless. Thumbs up if you think that is a myth, and down for not a myth. All right, we've got quite a good consensus here coming through. People are saying it is not a myth. However, sorry to say, guys, thank you, Kyoko. You got in there as the right answer. So it is likely a myth. Your existing quality content can often be adapted and updated and restructured for GEO. So it's not about throwing away the content and starting afresh. It's all about optimizing your existing content. Number 3. So GEO is all about pleasing the AI algorithms. So human readability and user experience are therefore less important. Is that a myth? Thumbs up, or not a myth? All right, we're looking at a big thumbs up from the voters here. Definitely a myth. So yes, looks like we had a real consensus there 2 times round. We're all correct. So generative AI does aim to provide human-like helpful answers. So your content needs to be clear, engaging, and valuable to the human at the other end, right? So those core SEO principles, though, of EEAT, so that's experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, those still strongly apply. Right, last one here. Smaller businesses and niche websites cannot compete in GEO against those large authoritative companies and their web domains. We think that's a myth, thumbs up, or not a myth, down. Oh, getting a little odd. Okay, some people are saying, yeah, we've got mostly thumbs up here. So yes, I think we've got consensus from the attendees here. And the answer here is yes, likely a myth. So as while authority does still matter, GEO can also surface highly specific expert content from niche sources. For example, in the English language, LLMs, Reddit is a key source of information. And you saw earlier our blog, as a small, agency here in Japan, we're ranking globally for those answers as well. So, for those smaller businesses and those businesses that don't have a huge amount of awareness, say in a new market, you can still rank highly. So why should we care? I'm going to hand this now over to Ignacio to get into the details. Thank you.
Thank you. So I will explain why. Because this is running faster, this is growing faster than anything we've seen before. We can see that ChatGPT generates 800 million weekly users. Gemini nowadays generate 550. These are the 1 and 2 competitors on large language models. And Gemini in the next future will overpass ChatGPT because of the technology. Nowadays, every day there's a battle between technology, between these 2 guys. And Gemini is increasing in the technology. So large language model usage. So nowadays, 60% of US adults are using AI large language models according to a survey. And also, this is an important thing, like the verified through data, like why these large language models are working right now, and we are talking about them. Large language models don't always show Google's results first result. Why? Because, for example, ChatGPT use Bing search engine. They don't use Google. So the results on Bing are different from Google. Second reason is that when you use content, when you want to rank content, when you want to rank content on Google, on the SEO old style, you need backlinks, you need like old pieces of content, and on GEO is different. GEO will focus on update content, refresh content. You need to update your content. You need to adapt to the prompts that are seasonal. So that's why most of the rankings on ChatGPT are from the second and the third page of Google, not for the first results. And that's the reason, because sometimes the query or the prompt is more like, I need specific information from a month in Japan, like August 2026 in Japan. What is going to happen with cybersecurity events? So that is not going to rank a page in the first position because it has not all the keywords. It's going to go to like third, fourth page that has the information, even if it has less backlinks. So in the next slide, we will see what's going on in Japan. In Japan, the things are going a little bit slower than in the US market. The US market is in the vanguard, as always. Europe has some problems with the privacy. They have some blockers right now. Japan is adapting, but in a slow way. 43%, based on the survey from Shoko Research, 43% of large companies and 23% of small and medium-sized companies are using AI. So this is a small percentage. 43% is low for a country like Japan. In the next slide, we can see another source. This is GMO Internet Group, and they did a survey for 1,172 people across Japan in February this year, and the recognition rate of generative AI is high. However, the usage rate of generative AI, it was 42.5%. This is another reason why it's low. And you can see that 68% of the people that they are not using AI, they say, I don't feel the need to use AI, which is a mistake. You need to start using AI or you will be out of the market soon. Your clients cannot find you because they will be all the time on Gemini, on ChatGPT instead of Google. So I don't feel the need is something that should disappear soon. In the next slide, we will see about how to GEO. I will explain our best practices on how to GEO, how we do it. So first thing, we need to continue starting with the keyword research. Now is more important than ever, but not just the keyword research to go to Google Ads and check Google Planner, checking the amount of keywords, the average monthly searches, because what we want now is to upgrade that level of keyword research. We need to include, people also ask, that is the autocomplete from Google. We need to also go to important tools that we recommend, for example, Answer the Public from Neil Patel. Those tools works really good because it helps you to understand how a prompt will be generated. So the traditional SEO was focused on long tail keywords like best hotels Tokyo, best hotel in Tokyo, best hotel in Osaka. Nowadays, the user goes to what are the best luxury hotels in Tokyo near Shinjuku with a pool. And that's why the importance of how you create the content, how you structure the content for AI and for humans. You need to add all this information, not to rank in the first position. You have to be inside the mind of these people that ask these prompts. So as AI search engine, prioritize helpful user-first content that simplifies search for user by making searching easier. You need to optimize the content in a conversational mode. You need to have shorter citations. You need to, everything you need to do it shorter than before. Before it was paragraph, long paragraph, a lot of external and internal hyperlinks. No, You need to just reply the prompts nowadays. In the next slide, we also include this with our client. We add semantic signals in the content. We use guiding phrases like, in summary, step 1, the most important. Why? Because when you ask a prompt, you will ask about a summary, you will ask about compare things, let me know the 5 steps of something. What is the most important thing? That's why your answer, that's why when you create content, you need to think in a way to reply a question. So other thing, you need to use bullet points. This is one of the main ideas for to understand the AI robots. You need to use bullet points because you need to stick to one idea per paragraph. You shouldn't write long paragraph. Focus in summary. This improves readability for both, for the users and AI models, because it's not that the user is going to ask one prompt, then it will reply, and you will continue appearing if you have those informations. Then use clear headings and subheadings. The most important thing here is that you should focus not just that GEO is something new and different. GEO is an SEO upgrade. So you need to go to the basic and continue using the basic. You need to follow H1, H2, H3 structure, using the H2 and H2 as questions. You know, when you use those as a question, you help the AI robot to understand that information. This helps the model to understand the hierarchy and flow of your content. Creating frequent asked questions. This is more focused for B2C, because when you have B2C product pages, you need to include the frequent asked questions at the end of the page, because the robot will go and will pull all that data, and if it's important data, it will show it immediately in the prompt, and the user will come to your product page. So the intent, nowadays, the intent from ChatGPT is 5 to 6 times higher than from Google and SEO. When someone goes from ChatGPT to your website, it's really close to compared to someone that goes from Google. They go to Google, but at the same time, they also open different spreadsheets for your competitors. When they go from ChatGPT, they go straight to your website. So that is another important thing to understand about this. You need to use schema markup for better machine understanding. Schema markup nowadays is more important than ever. Why? Because you need to add in this schema markup is a script that you implement in your website, and you have different types of markups. One could be product, another can be price, but another important could be the name of the person. If, let's say that you are a content writer, freelance content writer. When you create a content, you create an article, and in the schema markup, you add the publisher and you write your name, you start to grow in the market that you are writing for. Let's say that you are a freelance editor or writer for cybersecurity. If you add that tag in all your cybersecurity posts, when someone goes to ChatGPT and says, let me know the top 10 writers on cybersecurity, your name will appear, because you are upgrading your content with these tags. So we recommend for articles to use the article and web page schema markup type, the frequent asked question page schema markup type, and the how-to. These are really important for articles. When you create articles, you need to add this to help the robots to understand what the content is about. It's like you are creating a recipe, so you are putting all the ingredients here. In the next slide, we are showing another important thing: authoritative data and insight. When you write, you need to have authoritative data. You need to citate important sources. You are talking about healthcare, you need to citate the Ministry of Health of the country you are talking about. You need to citate someone important in the area. So this is really important because ChatGPT will grab that data, pull out that data from your content, and it will show it because it has an expert citation and increase that trustworthiness. The content should be refreshed. As Sam was saying before, ChatGPT and these LLMs prioritize refresh content. Why? Because the prompts are seasonal. Sometimes you are talking about something that you want today. You are not asking something like generic. You need something from today. You need the top B2B marketing companies in Japan today, not tomorrow. The online presence. You need to build a strong, positive online presence in many different channels. And while Reddit, it's an important site for the US market, it's less effective in Japan. Instead, we recommend to use other Q&A forum sites. We can see here in this image how where AI gets its facts. This is from SEMrush. The source is SEMrush, and we can see that 40% of these citations are from Reddit. So in the next slide, we can see that what we recommend as Reddit alternatives are, for Q&A communities, we recommend Yahoo Chibukuro, that is the Q&A page in Japan. The reason is that this page pull out data and show the data on ChatGPT. We can see how our B2B manufacturing clients are working on this. We can see that they have a profile. Of course, that you cannot do self-promotion. If someone is asking a question, you need to reply in a way to help the user, not to self-promote with links, because these sites, they can ban immediately, as Reddit can ban immediately if they see someone that is doing self-promotion. But you can see that in ChatGPT, users are asking for technical questions in manufacturing, and the answers are from Yahoo Answers. So definitely it's an important source. Why it helps GEO? Because the GEO robot learns natural questions patterns and common comparison from Q&A content. If your language and answers match those patterns, it becomes much easier for the robot to pick up your pages and as a clean read-made response. So that is the main reason why you need to focus. You need to create a list of the forums and Q&A website for your industry, because every industry works completely different. This is not one magical recipe. This is like how this works for us on B2B manufacturing. And in this slide, this is another example. This is developer communities like Krita or Zen. This is focused on engineer community. And it helps because these are technical questions that engineers are asking, and then the clients are replying. They send their engineers to reply these questions, and that's how they were found. They are found on ChatGPT because sometimes these technical questions are those that close the deals, because the decision makers, they go and they ask the VP of engineers about some technical stuff for an app, and they need that information. And when they found the answer, they go directly to the website and they connect, they have the meeting. So that is how fast this is like growing and closing deals compared to SEO. So in the next slide, we can see something that is a Kaizen for GEO. Kaizen is how to increase your how you optimize your pages. So traditional SEO rewarded the old authoritative pages with a lot of backlinks. Kaizen is a continued improvement in Japan. You always do something better every day something better, Kaizen. So you need to do the same with your website. You need to adapt that mentality on your site. How Kaizen become a GEO strategy. You need to have treat GEO as a loop, not as a project. You need to focus on your most important pages, product and solution pages, frequent asked questions, comparison pages, best listicles, and event pages. Then you need to analyze, like focus on the freshness metrics, not just the ranking. You need to analyze the percentage of key pages updated in the last 60 to 90 days, analyze having a file with all these pages, checking in analytics which are the pages generating traffic, not just from SEO, also from ChatGPT. Our clients are asking every time about the analytics data, not from Google, from ChatGPT, because they see that the engagement is higher. So we need to create this plan with the most important key pages, the key pages that can include answer first intro, like AEO. We need to have those pages that with an intro that can appear in the Google results. So what we do is that we create a plan based on each quarter. The first quarter, we fix and update top 5 to 10 most important revenue pages. I say revenue pages because we are talking on most of B2B, but we also focus in some clients with B2C. So these are the pages that generate the most revenue of your website. Then you have to extend to comparison pages and frequent asked questions pages. You need to formalize a review cadence, like monthly or quarterly, for ongoing GEO updates. You need to update your pages. You need to change that chip that, this page is giving me a lot of traffic. I don't have to make any changes. From one day to another, you can disappear from SEO, and it will take time to start appearing on GEO. So an advice is to update the pages. Then use what you have learned too. So to train content and sales team GEO best practices, you need to automate monitoring on freshness metrics, the percentage of pages updated, the percentage with answer first intro. And one motto that we have on this is that Kaizen applies to GEO, that we say that we are always the freshest, clearest answer when AI is asked about our category in Japan. So we also think in that way, like, what are the pages that are not updated? Why we need to update this? And what are the news for this to refresh the content? So the key takes away for this is that you always need to continue excelling at the fundamentals. The high quality content is still the king. Now more than ever, you need to continue creating valuable, well-researched and trustworthy content, focusing the solid SEO foundation. You need to continue using the best practices from SEO, but use the GEO best practice as well. So you need to upgrade all that content. Make your content AI friendly. It's not just for it was never for humans only. It was also for the robots. So make your content AI friendly, clear and structured. Format, summarize. You need short answers. You need to focus on what are the prompts. You need to use AI tools. Some of these AI tools are expensive. You need to invest. We invest a lot in technology. We invest in these tools to help our clients in monitoring, brand citations, sentiment analysis. You need to do the same. You need to focus on what the users are doing to overpass your competitors. So the format is really important. Direct answer, as I said, you need to focus in short answers. Showcase your EAT, expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and awareness. This is more important than ever. You need to citate. You need to citate like important sources. When you need to highlight like people that are important people in that market, in that industry. You need to highlight those things. You need to build trust. Consistently demonstrate your authority and trustworthiness in your field. And you need to expand your definition of success. You need to track all this in the analytics tool you have. Nowadays, there's a lot, but for most of the users, they use GA4. You can start tracking ChatGPT there. However, you cannot track like citations, right? You need to use other tools. That's why you need to invest. That this is something that you need to know, that this is not something so easy because it's new. Maybe next year these tools will cost like $20. Today, these tools are expensive because they are new, and every single day you have a new tool in the market. You need to check and see which one adapt to your budget and also to your industry. The results, what this is, after that we do all this with the client, what are the results? Well, they enhance online visibility and authority. We dominate the niche with search results for the industry and region, and positioning your brand as a leading expert. We increase the quality of the leads. We increase the quality because when the lead comes from ChatGPT, it's because passed a lot of funnels here. It's passed from SEO, overpass to ChatGPT, ask on ChatGPT, compare all the prompts, ask all the prompts that wanted to know, and then it goes to your website. So that lead is really qualified because it has all the information about you. So, and the last thing is the strategic advantage over competitors. If you start doing this today, you should do it yesterday. But if you do it today, definitely you will overpass your rivals, because as we were saying before, in the Japanese market, 42% has an idea on ChatGPT and 68% they said, I don't need it. Okay. Next year, many things will change and you need to be in that boat. We will pass now to the Q&A. I want to explain how we can ask questions. You can go to the right side down. We have like 9 dots there. You can click there and it will show some options. You click in the Q&A and then you ask a question. So yes, please ask any question you have about anything that you want to know about GEO, and we will do our best to reply your question. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ignacio. So Rosita's going to appreciate the applause as well. Especially, I think, hats off to Ignacio for leading us through a dense subject in a very engaging way. Rosita's going to monitor the Q&A chat box and then share with us the questions that have come through. So Rosita, have we got any questions that have already filtered through?
Yeah, we have. Oh, yes, we have one question. This is from attendee SA7555. Does ChatGPT claw information in Japan or globally?
Okay, so I think the answer is depends on which language you're searching in. So if you search ChatGPT in Japanese, natively with the Japanese kind of search prompt, it will start to look at the Japanese language sources that it references. So as Ignacio called out earlier, those Yahoo Q&A forums, other forums that are more specialized. If you search in ChatGPT in English, it'll divert its memory banks, as it were, to the English language sources. So Reddit might become then more the trusted source for them. Anything else to add in there, Ignacio? Have I covered that piece?
No, it's fine. Yes, it depends on the language. If you write in Japanese, it have the sources also in Japanese, not just the answer.
All right, Rosita, what's next?
All right, we have a few more. The next one is, does it make more sense to plan content based on the volumes of views on Reddit, or still the search volume in Google?
I can reply that Google is still the most important source for traffic. So that should be your first source. Even that Reddit pull out data, ChatGPT pull data from Reddit, that's another thing. You need to always focus on your keyword research, on anything that you need to do for your content on Google traffic, Google average monthly searches, etc., not from Reddit.
Thank you. I think we've got a lot of questions coming in, so happy to answer more questions as well in one-to-one basis, and we can catch up with those who've asked questions and haven't had a chance to get an answer as well. Just also to note that we are recording this, and this recording will be shared with all attendees after the fact as well. All right, next question, please, Rosita.
Next question is, are your clients seeing a drop in leads but better qualified lead inquiries?
Yes, that is true. And the reason is simple. The traffic decrease, the drop in leads, but when you start to have leads from ChatGPT, the better quality of the leads starts.
All right, thank you, Ignacio. Next is, how can I measure my current AEO, GEO health? Is there a standard health check tool?
Yes, there's many, but one that we can recommend is AEO Grader from HubSpot, that can help you to understand all the health of the AEO and GEO for your site. So AEO HubSpot is one. Then you have Href Brand Radar, that is another one, but it's expensive. It's a little bit. It's the one from HubSpot is free. This is let's say an average of $1,000 or something like that. So it depends on your budget, but there's a lot. And also, every single week you can check on LinkedIn that there's a new tool, and someone says, type here GEO, type here AEO, I would send you the tool. So it's just a matter to test those tools, which one can adapt to your site.
And I'd say, the health check is just the first part, right? So you might get a reading, a ranking or a percentage, how healthy you are. What do you do with that in data? I think it's worth, engaging in an agency or some expert who can help you then, with the next steps. How do we improve? What's the most important? What's the areas we should prioritize?
Okay,
right.
Yeah. And also,
next question. Let's just, I think we've got a lot of questions coming in, so I want to try and see if we can answer a few more. Thanks.
The next one is, regarding refreshing content, are you suggesting going back into your content and refresh it, optimizing for GEO?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, for sure. I think as Ignacio mentioned earlier, it's start with the ones, the web pages and the questions and the search intents that are driving the most revenue, or the most important to your business. Start there and then optimize from that point.
All right. The next question is related to language. What happens if our website has multiple language selection, and if a Japanese person types a question in Japanese, will our site be included?
Well, depends on how your site shows the URL. For example, if that URL with the information exists, it's not that it's going to, let's say that WordPress use like widget that update the content, but the URL is the same, it's not going to show it. But if the URL is in, like, translate in Japanese and the content is in Japanese, it will show. So depends on how your site shows the URLs.
Okay, thank you. Next is search terms were limited, but AI context search is fast. So how do we find out what people are using in AI search to make sure we are loading these answers into our websites?
So I think the question is, to rephrase it, sort of, instead of doing keyword research that would determine sort of, topics of interest in Google, how do we know what users are actually searching in the AI models? Is there a way to find that out? Ignacio,
Yeah. The tools that I was saying before, you have tools in the market, this one, brand radar, that you can go and check about your brand and how they are searching for your brand on ChatGPT and on other large language models. I'm talking about ChatGPT because it's the one on top, but Gemini, Claude, etc. So these tools exist, but you need to invest, and you have the data there for your brand if you need it.
And I think, one thing to always remember is, empathy and putting yourself in the user's shoes. What are they going to be searching for? Is it information on, why your product is better than another, or is it more educational? What sort of in nature, learning about a topic, how you can then, insert yourself into that conversation as well, how you can provide valuable information. And on niche subjects, because it's I think extended longer tail than ever. People are searching on very specific topics and wanting deeper and deeper engagement and answers from the AI models. So if you can be a part of those answers and those discussions, that's where why Reddit and the Q&A forums are a very valuable source for the LLMs, because they have that large, wide and deep, subject repository of information. Right, next question.
Next question is, your data of AI usage is for the companies, as companies should have restrictions in terms of privacy. However, the individual usage should be higher, right? How much higher?
Okay, so looking back at some of those survey points, we are just referencing, I think it was Tokyo Shoko research and also GMO. So, I mean, we'd have to dig out more research to understand the general picture. But I think, yes, on an individual level, as we talk to our clients and just business professionals in Japan, we do see that those who are in marketing, those who are in sales, those who are curious and information gatherers are making use of these tools, right? And I saw some research before as well, and you know, the next generation, the college students, that's their place that they go to first, an AI chatbot rather than a Google search. So this will only increase as we see that, you know, generation coming into the workforce. Well, I'm just looking at the time here, it's 12 o'clock. So we had planned to wrap it up at this point. There was many more questions, and we really appreciate everyone's engagement and interest in this topic. We are, you know, keen to do maybe an after session another time where we can just do an open discussion Q&A sort of forum. That might be, I think, really a fun way to follow up with all these questions. So we'll be in touch with details about that. We'll also be sharing the recording of this webinar, and also to those who've registered and attended, and also a short survey to get your feedback. So again, really appreciate everyone's time, engagement, and great questions. It's obviously a really you know, hot topic, and yeah, thanks for all of the emojis and love and thumbs up we're getting on the screen here. So with that, last word to Ignacio and team. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for your great questions. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much.